The year is 1992. On a small farm on the big island of Hawaii, a fruit farmer named Rudy Sabuchau notices something on a leaf, a ring. Small, almost pretty. He doesn't know it yet, but within a year, that single ring will kill nearly every papaya tree he owns. Within a decade, it will threaten to erase a fruit that humans have cultivated for 4,000 years. A fruit the Maya perfected. A fruit Spanish sailors carried across 3 oceans. A fruit that today feeds hundreds of millions of people every single day. Scientists know how to destroy the infected trees. They have no idea how to save the healthy ones. There is no spray, no cure, no known solution, except one. The only papaya trees that will survive this virus are the ones carrying part of the virus inside their own DNA. This is the history of papaya. To understand how a virus almost destroyed the papaya, you have to understand how humans built it in the first place. Because the papaya, big, golden, sweet, that papaya doesn't exist in the wild. It never did. The wild ancestor of Carica papaya still grows today in a handful of rainforests across southern Mexico and Central America. Botanists have traced it to a small region, parts of Veracruz, the Yucatan Peninsula, and the Papain Basin in Guatemala. But if you found a wild papaya, you probably wouldn't recognize it as one. The wild fruit is tiny, sometimes not much bigger than your thumb. The flesh is thin, fibrous, slightly bitter. If you tasted one, you'd spit it out. So, how did anyone turn that into the fruit on your kitchen counter? The answer starts around 4,000 years ago in a jungle clearing with one strange tree. Here's what you need to know about wild papaya, and it's simpler than it sounds. Wild papaya trees come in 2 versions, male trees and female trees. Male trees produce pollen, female trees produce fruit. You need both, one of each, for a papaya to grow. It's inefficient, wasteful. Half the trees in any grove produce nothing you can eat. But somewhere around 4,000 years ago, a genetic mutation appeared, a rare tree, a single tree, that combined both male and female into one plant. Every flower could pollinate itself. Every branch could grow fruit. For an ancient farmer, this was a miracle. You didn't need groves. You didn't need to guess which seedlings were male. You planted one tree, it produced, it reproduced, and its offspring inherited the trait. We know this happened because scientists at the University of Illinois analyzed the papaya genome in 2015. They tracked exactly when this mutation split off from wild papaya. Their answer? Around 4,000 years ago, right when the Maya civilization was rising. And here's why that matters. In every wild papaya grove ever studied, in every rainforest surveyed, no one has ever found a hermaphrodite tree in nature. Not one. It only exists in cultivation, which means it didn't happen in a jungle by itself. Someone found that tree. Someone recognized what it was. And that someone protected it, planted its seeds, and passed those seeds to their children. That single decision, thousands of years ago, is why papaya exists as a global crop today. But now think about what that decision also did. Every commercial papaya on Earth descends from a very small genetic starting point. Nearly identical DNA, nearly identical vulnerabilities, which means when a virus finally learns how to attack it, every farm on every continent is at risk at the same time. That fact won't matter for 4,000 years, but when it does, it will matter to a farmer named Rudy Sabuchau on a small island watching his trees die one by one. We're not there yet, because before that virus arrived, the papaya still had to conquer the world, and no one in Europe had ever seen it. October 1492. Christopher Columbus makes landfall in the Bahamas. Within months, Spanish expeditions are pushing into the American mainland. And almost everywhere they land, they see the same strange plant. It doesn't look like a tree. It has no branches, just a single tall trunk with a crown of enormous leaves. And near the top, clusters of huge golden fruit hanging directly from the trunk. They cut one open. Inside, bright orange flesh. Soft, sweet, studded with black seeds like caviar. There's a story, repeated for centuries, that Columbus himself called it the fruit of the angels. Historians can't confirm the quote. It doesn't appear directly in his surviving writings. But whether he actually said it or not, the phrase stuck. Papaya had entered European awareness, and it wasn't leaving. The first confirmed European written record, comes from a Spanish chronicler named Gonzalo Fernández de Oviedo. In 1526, he described papaya growing along the coasts of Panama and Colombia. He wrote about its taste, its shape, and, importantly, the way indigenous peoples used it. Because here's what the Spanish quickly figured out. The people of the Americas didn't just eat papaya, they cooked with it. They used it for medicine, they wrapped tough game meat and papaya leaves overnight, and by morning, the meat was tender. They treated wounds with the milky sap from unripe fruit. They understood things about this plant that no European chemist would fully explain for another 300 years. The name itself came from those people, not from the Maya, not from the Aztecs, from the Carib language spoken in the Caribbean islands. Their word for the fruit was something close to ababai. Spanish tongues shortened it. It became papaya, then finally papaya. That word, the one used today in almost every language on Earth, is a fragment of a Caribbean language that colonization nearly erased. Now, here's where the papaya starts moving. Most fruits don't travel well. They rot, their seeds die. You can't carry a mango across an ocean and plant it on the other side. But papaya is different. Its seeds stay viable for months. You can dry them, pack them in a barrel, sail them halfway around the world, plant them at the other end, and they grow. That single trait, cheap, dry, portable seeds, turned papaya into one of the fastest spreading crops in human history. The spread happened in 3 waves. Wave 1, the Caribbean. From the early 1500s, Spanish ships carried papaya seeds to continents. Hispaniola, Cuba, Jamaica. Every island renamed it. In Cuba, it became fruta bomba. In Venezuela, lechosa. In Brazil, mamao. Wave 2, the Pacific and Asia. Around 1550, Spanish sailors crossed to Manila with papaya seeds. From the Philippines, it exploded across tropical Asia. Portuguese traders picked it up and carried it to India. From India, it moved into Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia. By 1626, it had reached Europe itself, growing in botanical gardens in the Kingdom of Naples. Wave 3, Africa. Portuguese ships carried it down the coast of East Africa in the 1600s. By 1652, a Dutch colonist named Jan van Riebeek placed a specific request from his outpost at the Cape of Good Hope. He wanted papaya seeds. He wanted them shipped from India, not from the Americas, because by then, India had better cultivars than the plant's own birthplace. In roughly 150 years, papaya had gone from a fruit only known in Central America to a fruit growing on farms in every tropical country on Earth. That spread had one huge downside, but nobody in the 16th century could see it yet. Every one of those new farms was planted with cuttings and seeds that traced back to that single small genetic starting point in Mesoamerica. Every papaya, everywhere on Earth, was essentially a cousin of every other papaya, a worldwide monoculture, a worldwide vulnerability. Somewhere in the far future, a virus was going to notice that. But before that virus arrived, the papaya was about to reveal its second great secret. Sailors loved what was inside the fruit, but cooks in every tropical port were about to discover something stranger inside the trunk. Cut into an unripe papaya, or nick the trunk of a young papaya tree, and something strange happens. A thick, white liquid oozes out. It looks like glue.